Hey everyone, Sirturmund here. So today I wanted to bring you guys something a little bit more meta instead of more experimental, although, I've been bringing you a lot of decks that have been reaching like top 10 and top 20 ladders, so I guess those can technically be meta as well. But I wanted to go revisit and give some love to our old friend Pantheon Yuumi. I feel like Pantheon Yuumi has kind of fallen a little bit of flavor in the past couple of weeks, which is surprising to me because I think the deck can still be very good in certain scenarios. Although I will admit that it does struggle a lot more in this meta, especially with stuff like Quicksand running around, able to Quicksand two of your targets at once. It makes your overwhelm units a little bit less efficient. So it is a little bit tougher against like some of the Shurima decks, but that is why in this version of the deck I'm running two Bastions, right? So that we can preemptively put a Bastion on like a big Pantheon or a big Wounded Wifeling to make sure that we can play around a little bit around their Quicksand. Aside from that, though, the rest of the deck is very similar to all the Pantheon Yuumi decks that you have seen for the past, what? It's been like 3-4 months now, right? Of Pantheon Yuumi running around. So, one Chambers, I think one Chambers is always very critical. It's like a cheap way to buff one of your faded units. Obviously, 3 Saga Seekers, 3 Bright Steel, 3 Goats, and 3 Wounded White Flames. Those are all like your key units that you want to be able to get in your hand. Especially early on, you want to get Saga Seeker, Mountain God, and Wounded White Flame. So you can start buffing them up and getting the free gems from Mountain God to be able to buff up the rest of your faded. Two Guiding Touch, 3 Pale. Easy way to us to get some nice draw, as well as some nice ways to trigger a faded. 3 Sharpshot, even though Sharpshot did get nerfed, I think 3 Sharpshot is still necessary to be able to combat like the Victor Ambush combo in the meta, or if a Victor just rolls the elusive. So I feel like 3 Sharpshot is still worth keeping, and he also advances your Pantheon. 2 single combat to be able to defend against some of the opponent's threats, as well as 2 Concerted Strikes down here to also do the same thing. I like Triple Cataclysm in this deck over Rally. And the reason that I like the Triple Cataclysm is because it's a way to be able to level up the Yuumi. So again, we are playing triple Yuumi. And leveling up Yuumi and getting that spell shield is so huge, especially in this meta with a lot of Quicksand. So if you're able to attack 3 times with Yuumi, she will level up, and Cataclysm lets you do that. So let's say you put Wounded White Flame and you put Yuumi in the Wounded White Flame. You attack first. Then next turn, you can do the Cataclysm to kill something, and then on your next open attack, you can just open with a level up Yuumi to make sure that your Wounded Wifeling cannot get like Vengeance or something like that. Triple Cynic Blade is the way that you give your Overwhelm to your big units that go higher with Faded. We talked a little about Double Bastion. I think one Blinded Mystic is still very good in the meta. Can hit stuff like Ballistic Bot. It can hit stuff like the Hydrobind from Viego, etc. And then obviously the last piece is our big champion Pantheon. Obviously Victor kind of has become the better Pantheon, which is kind of funny because before the patch, people were like, oh my god, Victor is such a sad version of Pantheon because Victor never gets the keywords, etc. And now look at the tables that flip, and now you pretty much see Victor everywhere, and Pantheon really not anywhere. So, but I think Pantheon is still very good. So I think this deck is still very good. It can still do a lot of great things in the meta. It is just a little bit weak still to a lot of the aggro decks. So just be careful about that when you decide to play this deck. Whether you run into aggro, depending on your rank in ladder. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the games coming up today. If you like the video, please make sure to drop a like and remember to subscribe to us. We're very, very close to 1,000 subscribers, so I would appreciate all the support as we try to get there to 1,000. So tell all your friends and Discord groups, etc. if you can. Enjoy the games, and I'll see you all at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Pirate Aggro, which should do very well versus this deck. Because they're going to be able to go really wide. In which case, I actually need to... I don't hate this hand. So, I don't hate this hand because the Bright Steel Protector is going to make their attack more accurate in turn 3. And the single combo would allow me to take advantage of the trigger from the barrier. The Pantheon is just there because if we can level him... we can could potentially get lifesteal. Obviously, the best thing here we're having to get in the 1-drop, but I think it's fine to just rely on the Mountain God instead, because if the opponent doesn't open next turn, the Bright Steel Protector is going to stall their attack. We do have double Guiding Touch in this deck, so that gives us a little bit of an out. The Wounded Wifeling is also very good, since it's going to have a lot more health. We are going to have to take that 3 damage. Opponent's going to need to summon something that they can block with next turn, right? Otherwise, the Mountain God is going to get in damage for free. Yeah, let's do this. So they're forced to summon something that can block this Mountain God. Otherwise, Mountain Goat gets in 3 damage. Okay, yeah, there we go. They have to do this right now. Now, we're still going to take 2 damage next turn, right? Guarantee. If they open attack. If they open attack, we just commit the Wounded White Flame and just do the Bright Steel Protector on the next turn. Or we can just do Pantheon too, to be honest. We probably don't need to do the Wounded right away. Well, no, we can do the Wounded plus the Gem, because no matter what, we're going to get a Gem here, right? So we can do block here, do the Wounded White Flame plus the Gem, if the opponent opens. If they don't open, we put the Bright Steel Protector, and then the opponent probably will not attack anymore. Because if they attack after the Bright Steel Protector is on the field, they're just like losing units for free. Which is exactly what we want. So I think either way is a win-win for us, regardless of which action the opponent does right here. Now we are going against Dinah. Oh, here we go. So we just do this. So now we can just single combat the Misfortune, right? Or, I mean, if he does it like this, this is okay too. It does guarantee that he kills both our units, right? Which is why the opponent is doing it this way. So he can guarantee that he's killing both units because of the fact that this is going to remove the shield, right? What we can do is that we can make sure that we kill his whole board. So here we make sure that we kill the whole board. That way we take 0 damage this turn. We play the Wounded White Flame next turn and do the gem on it and start working on the Pantheon level up. We also get 2 gems out of that exchange, making it like a really super low committal value to be able to buff up the Wounded White Flame. And the White Flame is also going to have Cataclysm available to be able to kill something else that the opponent might have. So we go ahead and attack. Opponent's not going to block. They're just going to take the 4. So that 4 is going to be useful for later. We do have Cataclysm. Oh man, they've been able to refill their board again. That's kind of annoying. Wow, that's actually really annoying. The fact that he's able to refill his whole board like this again is actually so annoying. Because now we're going to take a ton of damage if he open attacks here. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. So no matter what, we're going to go to 9. Pantheon is still pretty far away from leveling up. If the opponent doesn't open attack, we can do a second Wounded White Flame, allowing us to have another blocker and be able to trigger the Fury. That's... Oh, man. I'm surprised that the opponent went for Misfortune last turn then, instead of just developing this one and then this one. If the opponent actually did Mirai plus Corsair last turn, they will be in a much better spot. Oh, he's going to go for the stun. So by going for the stun, he's making it so he pushes an additional 2 damage. What if we do this? What if we do Pantheon? So that we can block the 3-2. So we're going to take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to take 7 damage. Pantheon's going to be in the field. We can do the gem on it. So that we can start working. We're going to need our heal. We're going to need our heal at some point. Or to roll lifesteal here. Otherwise... So the reason why I prefer Pantheon over Wounded White Flame this turn is because it will allow us to start doing a lot of overwhelm damage with the Pantheon. Right? Pantheon here is not going to be a 3 out of 5. So this will allow us to level up Pantheon on the next turn. I think we need to keep the Cataclysm. I want to keep the Cataclysm mana. But I also feel like it's too early for us to attack with the Cataclysm. We might have to just go wide. We might have to just go wide instead. We might have to do it like this. And then summon the Wounded White Flame and just go 4 wide. Like I said, Pantheon's going to level up next turn. Allowing us to potentially be able to roll the lifesteal. Opponent has 3 cards. If they're exactly Decimate plus Fervor, then we always lose the game. I guess Fervor, he needs to be scared about the Fervor because we could technically have another single combat or a Concerted Strike. Unfortunately, we haven't rolled either of them, so... But there's no way for us to roll the lethal this turn, right? We go like this. see what they do first. Technically, I guess Cataclysm gets countered by Fervor, so that's why the Cataclysm, we have to be careful about it. If the opponent passes, are we passing back? We might have to actually pass back if the opponent passes. So if the opponent passes here, we're gonna take 2 damage, one from the Corsair, one from the Saga Seeker attacking. We have blockers for everything else. If they develop, then they, you know, get punished by the Pantheon level up. Yeah, I think if the opponent gives us the pass, we have to take it. Like if the opponent passes back after this attack, I mean, because they're only 4 wide. They're only 4 wide. Oh, I don't think that's the right play, right? Wow. So this is not lethal. This is only gonna be 5. So this is only 5, meaning that if the opponent has... So since this is not lethal, I think we need to actually go here. To protect that 1 damage. We have blocker for everything else. This is gonna be 4. We can level up Pantheon next turn. I think we need to kill this right now. If the opponent has the second Decimate or the Fervor, then we just lose the game regardless. Oh, no, not anymore. Not anymore. I probably should have waited, to be honest, though. So the reason I did the Cataclysm there is because the Cataclysm gets countered really easily by the Fervor. So I never felt comfortable doing the Cataclysm as long as the opponent kept 3 mana. So the fact that the opponent tapped out of 3 mana, I think told me that I had to go for it. That also saves us 1 damage now. Again, Pantheon is going to level up over here. So the opponent has to hope that we don't roll the lifesteal. Yeah, opponent has to hope that we don't roll the lifesteal. I think what we have to do here is Guiding Touch on our Nexus, Pale Cascade, to be able to get a draw and potentially be able to get like a single combat as an out. Everything else I think will be too much of a punish.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that.
Yeah, so let's do it like this. I guess we can do this first. Which still gives us mana to draw a single combat and gives us blockers for everything. This puts us out of the range of the Fervor. He's doing 1 damage here with the Misfortune. This protects us against like a Make It Rain. We have blockers for everything. And the Pale Cascade can threaten the lifesteal. Guess let's see what happens. We might want to leave the Twisted Fate alive, to be honest. I have a hunch that the opponent might have a second Twisted Fate in their hand. And they might want that Twisted Fate to die. If that's the case, I definitely want to leave Twisted Fate alive. Because they might be looking for that last piece of damage. So let's say the opponent has Fervor in their hand. With Misfortune, that's 4. With a second Twisted Fate, that will be 5. So let's just level up Pantheon first. We don't get the single combat, which is annoying. If we roll the lifesteal here, opponent's going to have to 100% Fervor anyways, right? So... there we go. We roll the lifesteal. It's exactly what we talked about. So here we roll the lifesteal. We can let this die, we can let this die, we can let this die. Opponent's going to have to Fervor their own Misfortune. Otherwise, they just lose the game. We have Spell Shield here. They're going to have to Fervor their own Misfortune. Imagine if we have single combat here. And now that I let Twisted Fate die, so that's why I'm sacrificing the Brightsteel here instead of doing anything else. Instead of blocking with Pantheon, for example. And here's the Fervor. So now, if the opponent draws the second Fervor, or just the Make It Rain next turn, they win the game. Otherwise, the Pantheon just wins. So I just have to assume that they had the second TF. And we just have to open and play around Decimate. Yeah, there's the Fervor. We go all the way down to 1. We don't have the second Guiding Touch. Wow, okay, so I guess it's gonna be like this, huh? It's gonna be like this. He got it. It's gonna be Make It Rain. Are you kidding me? Or it could be the Fervor as well. What? Sigil of Malice? Oh, okay. Well played, well played. I wasn't gonna play around that. I just assumed that it was, I mean, either one. Even if it was Make It Rain, it still has it. It's just kind of annoying that the opponent had exactly both turns of lethal. It's a little bit unfortunate, right? So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against, Mono Shurima. So against Mono Shurima, that's what the reason why we have two Bastions, to be able to protect against Mono Shurima nonsense. I like the Pantheon. I do feel like I want to keep the Bastion so bad, but I need the other units. I need the other early units to be able to buff them up. We don't get them. So it's a little bit awkward now. Because we need to be able to level up Pantheon, right? To actually be able to do anything. Now we can do the Protected to bait out. Wow. This is so bad. Yeah, this is so bad now. This is not a great hand. I guess it's not the end of the world. We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to do this. And just start eating it up. If the opponent gives us a chance to do the Zenith Blade, it allows us to start working on the Pantheon. Just a little bit late. Just a little bit too late. Oh, I mean, if he does this, this is even better for us, I think. I think this is even better for us, to be honest. So, what if we just do the Zenith Blade on the Pantheon? What if that's the play? What if we actually do the Zenith Blade on the Pantheon? And we do it this turn. Oh, this is fine. I guess we could single combat now. We don't need to Zenith Blade anymore. I was going to Zenith Blade to trigger the Pantheon, but now we can just single combat. That still triggers the Pantheon. Gives us the Faded trigger. Now we can do the Zenith Blade and get another trigger here while also still having the... While still having our ability. While still getting another Zenith Blade, I mean. We don't want to attack, so we don't want to attack because of the threat. Yeah, the threat of the Rite of Arcane. So attacking is never correct because of the Rite of Arcane. Now he could technically just pull here next turn and still do the same thing. We should win the White Flame. We should win the White Flame so that we can put the second Zenith Blade on it right now. And get a better target there. We have a second Pantheon, so I'm not too concerned about what the opponent might get here. It needs to be his Rite of Arcane, right? So I'm assuming that the opponent's going to try to play Rite of Arcane. In which case, we can play the second Zenith Blade on Pantheon again. Just to give it enough health to avoid the Rite of Arcane. This is the moment where I actually really would like the Bastion. Because if we can put the Bastion on the Pantheon, I can guarantee that he won't die to like a Quicksand. So I'm still playing around the Rite of Arcane, but now that he developed first, it allows us to put this on the White Flame first, and no matter who he pulls with Pantheon, we can just do the second Zenith Blade on the Pantheon. Yep. So he's gonna do it like this. He's gonna try to set up for a Rite of Arcane. Unfortunately, I guess he's still enough, right? Because even if we do the Zenith Blade right here, this is only gonna go to 4. So I guess we have to let it go. He has to do the Rite of Arcane right here. Yeah, there you go. But then next time we just summon the second Pantheon and call it a day. Yeah, we just summon the second Pantheon and call it a day, right? We keep the Concerted Strike open to be able to kill his champions, because I definitely need to do the Concerted Strike on the Seraph. So opponent's gonna have to have the Stasis right here to be able to protect against this. I guess technically the Quicksand will work right here. No, it doesn't have it. All right, so I'll take my free triggers of Faded plus the thing right here. I still should play around Quicksand though. I still need to play around Quicksand. So we're just gonna attack with this guy and hold this back because the Quicksand could stop the Pantheon. So we get our Fury trigger. Opponent is gonna be looking for his next champion. Pantheon is gonna level up next turn unless the opponent has a second Rite of Arcane. Second Rite of Arcane is no longer enough because we have the Pale Cascade. Otherwise, we just do the Zenith Blade on it. We could also use the Blind the Mystic, actually. Zenith Blade is probably better off in case that we do another White Flame or something. Yeah, actually, I think this is probably better, right? This is definitely slightly better. It will still do the same thing, and it leaves us with enough mana to do Pale Cascade plus Cataclysm. While the Zenith Blade... Oh, wow. Yeah. So we just do this. Level up Pantheon. We have access to Cataclysm here to be able to stop the Seraph. We also have Pale Cascade to trigger the Pantheon ability again. Oh, we get the Scout, Lifesteal. That's not bad. Quick Attack as well. So what is the opponent doing here? He needs to keep enough mana to do Rite of Arcane to be able to stop our Cataclysm. If they don't stop the Cataclysm, then this is going to trigger the Scout attack, allowing us to actually attack again and just win the game outright. Even if the opponent has the Azir right here, this is going to eat it up. Yeah, so he needs to stop it. Ironically, even if the opponent has the Quicksand right here, it's not going to be enough to kill the Pantheon. So this will eat up the Quicksand. Now, it will be enough to save his Seraph, but it will still trigger the Scout attack. Because if he does the Quicksand right now, I guess that's fine. Yeah, he will have to do the Quicksand right now. He waited until after the attack. So as you saw now, because Pantheon has Scout, now we get the attack token. So the Wounded Wyvern will be able to attack and put in a lot of damage. Yep. So he did the Quicksand right here. We do the Pale Cascade. Seraph still dies. And our Wounded Wyvern gets to attack anyways. And that's 2 Seraphs down. Heck, actually, I'm attacking with both. Yeah, I'm attacking with both. This Pantheon has Quick Attack. So this Pantheon has Quick Attack. He doesn't have any 1 damage pain. We still push 7 damage here. He still doesn't have the Seraph. Needs to look... And remember, we still have the Scout attack here too, right? So we just do this. Trigger the Faded. We're pushing another 5 damage. Even if the opponent has another Quicksand, it's not going to be enough here. He's drawing like crazy. Boom. And now we have enough attackers for everything else. I don't think there's any out for the opponent right here. Based on our hand. That's not going to be enough, right? I guess it could be... I guess he'll have the second Azir. But we have Overwhelm. So we do have Overwhelm. And the Quick Attack is not enough. So, yeah, even if he has the quick... Even if he can... Sorry, not Quick Attack. Even if the opponent has the Quicksand, it's not going to be enough, right? Because we're attacking 3 wide. Yeah, even if opponent has Quicksand, it's not enough. You can just pull here. Try to think. Yeah, I mean, this is not going to matter because of the Overwhelm. That's why he tried to play a Seer to get that, but the Overwhelm still kills him, right? So we also still have the Sharp Side to trigger this guy's Faded. So there we go. We ended up getting there because the opponent got really greedy with their Seraph, which is really awkward to me. Like, if you had no way to protect it against the Concerted Strike on that one turn, why would you play Seraph there? But yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against... What is this? I don't recognize the other skin. It's Nocturne Diana, right? Yeah, this is Nightfall. The Sharps is actually not bad. I feel like the Yuumi's probably greedy though, right? We probably don't want to get 2 Yuumis in this matchup, so yeah. So we know Warface, so that's why he messaged us. Yeah, so I wanted to keep the Sharps exactly for the flight. Unfortunately, the opponent got it on turn 1, so they get the free draw here. We can do the Mountain Goat at least, force the opponent to have to throw a blocker at it, and then we'll have the Wounded White Flame. If the opponent doesn't have a blocker for the Mountain Goat, I still think we go ahead and just sacrifice our goat. That way he doesn't have something to target. Now he could easily just get the flight again over here, which would be really annoying. Having the chambers is really good. Okay. Now what? You can't really do this. I guess you could do the gem and pretend that you're gonna attack. So I wonder if he's gonna do it. Ooh. He has to attack, right? He has to attack. And when we just do the chambers and punish this. And we still have the gem next turn. So we still have the gem here next turn, which we can use to attack. As well as heal up the Wounded White Flame. We still have single combat available as well. Let's do it like this. Let's just present this 6 damage right here. If the opponent wants to take that, that's okay with us. We still have access to single combat and Cataclysm to kill a lot of the stuff that they might summon. Yep, he kind of just have to take it though, right? I don't think there's any world where he cannot take, where he decides not to take that damage. I don't know if the goat is actually ever correct over here, because it's always gonna get pulled by Diana, right? So I'm wondering if it's actually better to just keep my mana and just play Pantheon instead, because Pantheon has the barrier at least. Yeah, so with Pantheon having barrier, we can at least start like presenting some damage here. Yeah, we'll go like this. Opponent might get baited into just attacking with Elusives. We know he got another Shade Stalker in his hand. If they do that, I'm okay with that. We still have Sharp Sight available for us. And single combat. So that's the second Shade Stalker. We're gonna kill 2 of them. We're gonna kill the Flight, and we're also gonna kill the Shade Stalker, by the way. So we're gonna do it like this. And just make sure that we kill both units. Don't take that much damage. At the same time, we're like buffing up the rest of our units. And Pantheon and the Dragon are pushing a lot of damage this turn. If Pantheon dies right here, am I upset about that? So if the opponent has like a Pale Cascade or something, am I upset about that? I don't think I am. So let's say they have Pale Cascade. They will have to commit the Pale Cascade without getting a draw. Or they will have to commit the ping without getting any creative card from it, right? Yeah, there you go. So commits the Pale Cascade. By the way, this still loses to any buff that we might have. So opponent doing that is crazy. Alright. That's annoying though now, because now the Diana levels up. So his Diana levels up, meaning that our Pantheon just dies for no reason. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh, he decides to go after this instead. Ha! Wow. I respect it. I respect it. That dragon is huge, so I respect that. I respect that hustle. That hustle. Cataclysm is kind of awkward, right? Because now Pantheon is going to still be a turn away from leveling. Wow. Yeah, Cataclysm is really, really awkward here. I think we just pass. See what they do first. If he's a second Diana, I want to be able to kill it with Cataclysm. Using like the Mountain Goat, which will also give me the gem back in return. You know what? Let's do this now. Let's do this now. This will enable us to get the gem, meaning that we can level up Pantheon next turn. So now we have one Cataclysm done. If the opponent has Diana, it's kind of annoying because they can kill our Pantheon. So we're going to have to actually sacrifice Pantheon. Actually, no. So this is better because now if the opponent has Diana, we can do the gem to make the Saga Secret 3 attack unit and kill the Diana that way. Doesn't have it. I still think it's better to just take this 5 and just level up Pantheon next turn using the gem. It's just unfortunate because we don't trigger the Pantheon. I guess we could also just do the Cataclysm. Try to see if I'm okay taking this damage here. No, I think it's fine to just turbo level Pantheon next turn and see what card we get. Of course, we get the sharp side. So we could have just done the gem last turn. But if we get anything that can get around that overwhelm unit, we're okay, right? We also have double Cataclysm to be able to finish up the game if we need to. We get the, yeah, there we go, elusive, spell shield. Yeah, okay, so that's game, right? This is always game here. Because we get elusive, fearsome, challenger, fury, spell shield. Opponent will have to ping their own unit. So in order to play around that, we just do this. This is gonna be exactly, yeah, this is gonna be exactly 5. So this is gonna be exactly 5 right here. To be able to kill this unit. This will prevent us from, because the opponent could cancel the Cataclysm by doing like a Bile Feast on their Lunari Dustbringer, or doing the Shroud, the Unspeakable Horror, sorry, on their unit, canceling the Cataclysm. At least this way we still kill this. And now if they do the Unspeakable Horror under Lunari, we just counter that with the sharp side. Ooh, Pale. I have spell shields, so that doesn't matter. Done and does? Yeah, I have the spell shield. That's why the spell shield was so critical, right? Because the spell shield allowed me to survive against like any silence like that. That was close though, because that silence could have just finished the game next turn, by the opponent being able to stop our units from attacking. So if I don't get spell shield that turn, I guess if I don't get spell shield, I guess the better thing is that if I don't get the elusive, the opponent is able to probably just win. But yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Viego Kindred. So they have Vengeance, they have Stuns, which is kind of annoying against our deck. Actually, probably very annoying. I think we have a good hand with both of these units. We get the Cineplate, which is huge. I was hoping that I could get like single combat or concerted, or so that we could deal with the Kindred, right? Yeah, because the Kindred, I think Kindred is going to be the biggest thing that we have to... Oh, there we go. Okay, so Kindred is one of the biggest problems that we have to deal with. Because the Kindred will be able to just slowly kill us down, because we don't have a lot of units in our deck. I think it's actually okay to open up with a Mountain Goat, so that we play around him having... I think this is fine. Yeah, I wanted to play around that. We can do the White Flame here and do the gem on it. And then what do we do next turn? I guess the single combat gets punished by an Nullify. But we don't have to commit the single combat right off the bat. So even if the opponent has the Kindred, we technically don't have to, we don't have to commit this. And we can always just let this eat it as well. Yeah, we don't have to commit this just yet. Putting it as on the Wounded White Flame is risky. So putting that on the Wounded White Flame is risky because it's another unit that he can just target. So I think I'm actually going to put in the Saga Seeker and just have more units that I can rely on, right? The Dragon gets the Fury proc, this gets hurt, which is fine. We're going to push the 4 damage here. If the opponent does something like Glimpse, we can still single combat, right? Yeah, you always do it this way. Yeah, so that's going to be the Glimpse. It's going to target the Mountain Goat, right? We can let it go and then do the single combat anyways on the Kindred. So we're gonna do it on the do the single combat using the goat, so that if the goat dies, then he just dies anyways, right? I guess this gets punished by a twin though. But if he has the twin right here, the goat was always dying anyway, so I'm okay doing this, I think. But it's like we talked about, right? Kindred's gonna be the biggest problem with this deck, with this matchup, right? And the syncopation is probably much better because the syncopation still gets me the trigger, right? So the syncopation still gets me the trigger. We have a Saga Seeker here that's gonna be bigger and bigger. We have a second, so we have a lot of things now that can eat up the Kindred. So I'm okay with that. So this can eat up the Kindred trigger. I guess we should have started with Cineplate, to be honest. Yeah, we probably should have started with Cineplate. Do your vengeance, man. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so he's always doing vengeance here on the Yuumi target. So he's able to kill the Saga Seeker. Kindred's gonna level up. We definitely need single combat or concerted again. Or we need for the Pantheon to be able to get like a challenger, which so far hasn't been the case. Let's do the Senate play right now. He could deny this, which is actually smart, yeah. And then we're still able to do the Yuumi. As long as the opponent doesn't have a lot of units to use, should be okay. We level up Pantheon next turn. He's gonna give us the Wounded Wifeling. Oh, I thought he... Okay, well. I guess we'll have to do this. So obviously we have to do this because we cannot let him get the free trigger to be able to kill us. So we'll do this here. We'll have to blind the Mystic to silence the big 7-drop, which is why we hold it in our hand. I'm just gonna level up Pantheon this turn. I don't think there's any reason not to. Yeah, there we go. So we just do this right here. This is why the Blinded Mystic is so good in this matchup. Pantheon levels up. And I guess we go try to see if we can kill next turn. No Spell Shield is kind of tough, but we did get the Elusive and the Lifesteal, which is very nice. Opponent decides not to do anything. I think it's actually worth it to do the Pell Cascade right here. Because otherwise we're going to have a hard time triggering the Pell Cascade next turn. Right? So we do it like this. We attack like this. Doesn't really have a good blocker for this one. I guess he could just use the... I guess he could just use a Twin right here to kill this. Or like a Battle Feast. We're still pushing 7. Even if he kills this, he's only targeting the Blinded Mystic. We have other units. Could have Vengeance right here. We have a second Pantheon. Okay, it's going to be Glimpse. Still takes the 7 though. Second Pantheon might actually be very good, by the way. Because second Pantheon could potentially get... wait, this is also going to level up next turn. I'm wondering if you... Okay, well, I'll pass. If you want to give me the pass like that, I'll pass back. So I want to trigger... Oh, this is huge. I want to be able to trigger the Pantheon. Like the Pantheon. Like, I want to target something this turn. So the reason that I want to target something this turn is because I actually think we have a good chance of leveling up the Yuumi. I guess if the opponent does nothing, we can just do like this. Remember, Yuumi's gonna level up right here. Yeah. So this is fine. So this is gonna... So what's gonna happen now, by the way, is that when we drop the Pantheon, I want to make sure that the Pantheon has one more keyword. So I want to make sure that the Pantheon has one more keyword when he drops down right here. So we do this first, and now Pantheon's gonna come down with 6 keywords. Here's the question: are we supposed to wait and get one more keyword and guarantee that we get Spell Shield, or do we want to just open attack next turn? I think we just want to make sure that we open attack because we're gonna have the Wounded Wifeling be leveled up. We get the Spell Shield and Elusive like we talked about. This is kind of annoying, but as long as we have this, I think we're okay. Yeah, I mean, we're wider than him, so we can just attack with the Pantheon, having Elusive, Spell Shield. Have the Projectile. This is gonna level up, right? Get another Pantheon on top of that. So we just attack like this. We can trigger the Fader with the Yuumi.
Let's find a new best friend.
He needs to block everything else. But this is gonna survive. Whatever he blocks with this is gonna die. In this case, I guess he decided he's gonna just block the Kindred. The worst thing he can do is actually let the Wounded Wifeling die. So this is gonna trigger the Pantheon. I mean, sorry, this is gonna hurt the Pantheon, actually. This is actually bad now. This is actually really bad. We're gonna have to try to kill her, right? So we're gonna have to kill her. This is also presenting lethal. If the opponent has a deny, then that's a problem. The Pantheon's gonna die. We'll get another Pantheon. We got the last Pantheon in our hand. We also lose a whole board except for when the White Flame. This is lethal because the Pantheon has impact, so he needs to deny this. He needs to deny this no matter what. Or give the Kindred Twin. Ooh, that was close. The second Spirit's Refuge actually put us in a very tight spot, right? Unfortunately for us, the Pantheon did have the everything that we needed, right? We definitely needed to just actually trigger the Yuumi on Pantheon last turn to play around deny. So we almost threw the game there by waiting until this turn to trigger the second Yuumi. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Ezreal Caitlyn, which is actually one of the big counters for Pantheon. Like anything Naxos related can be really bad versus us. This hand is not bad, not great either though. Is there anything I want to attack with the Blinding Mystic? Not this early. The Brightsy Protector can be very good at like making his attack more awkward, right? And Sinith Blade. Okay, so we got the Sinith Blade. Oh no, okay. This is bad. Double Sinith Blade. You never want to see double Sinith Blade. Bastion is huge. Bastion is pretty good. I'm willing to block this. So the reason that I'm willing to block this now is because if the opponent has a Mystic Shot, they're always gonna be able to kill that goat, right? So there's no reason to hold it back. We'll do the Saga Seeker right here. Let's see if the opponent has the Mystic. Oh. We just do the Sinith Play. We just do the Sinith Play here. Makes this attack a little bit awkward for the opponent. For next turn. So next turn, if they try to attack with Caitlyn, it's going to be a problem. Maybe he didn't expect us to spend the Sinith Play here, but that's because he doesn't know that we have a second one in our hand. Right? We could just block Caitlyn. Because if the opponent tries to do like a Mystic Shot, we can do the Bastion, right? To trigger the Faded. So if the opponent just attacks here, Bastion is going to punish them, even if the opponent has like double removal. That's solid. Oh. Never mind. They always get Ezreal as well. So if we do this, we're still okay against... Yeah, we're going to do this. We're still going to be okay against Flock. The opponent will need to have double Flock to stop this. Now, what it does mean is that we will not be able to stop the Caitlyn attack, right? I think killing the Ezreal is actually pretty good, though. So, if the Caitlyn attacks here, we cannot block, because then Flock kind of just screws us over. Yeah, there you go. So, he does that. Do we just pass? If the opponent has double Flock, then they have double Flock, and they have to use it right here. Otherwise, we just heal this back up with the gem. Unless we get hit by a Flash Bomb right here. We don't get hit by the Flash Bomb. So we just do this and attack for another, what, 5 damage? Because if he blocks with the Spider, he's taking 5. If he decides not to block at all, he's taking 6. I'm okay with that. So now he's just trying to get all this damage, right? I think it's okay to do the Wounded White Flame right now. Because we have Pell Cascade to protect her. We can Bright Steel next turn to stop the killing attack. I'm pretty sure the opponent has 1 Flock at least. And we get the Pantheon, which is going to be leveled up. Kind of annoying, I'm not going to lie. Kind of annoying. Let's just do the Zenith play right now. This will make this a good blocker into the Caitlyn. Because again, we're still going to have the mana for Bastion. Could also just do Bright Steel, to be honest. No Sharp Side is kind of annoying. Or no single combat either. How do we do this? Let's wait and see what he targets first. Right? Okay. So this is going to be him trying to flock this or Scorch Earth this. So we just do this here and keep it protected for one more turn, and then next time we can Pale Cascade. That probably actually wasn't great. That Braxia probably wasn't good, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, that Braxia probably wasn't great. What I want to do now is Pantheon. So the Braxia wasn't great because no matter what, these guys are going to die to a flock. I guess the idea here is that we're going to have the Pale Cascade to back them up. I don't think we're ever doing the Bastion right now, right? I think we just go ahead and do this. And keep the Bastion for later. I think this is fine. Probably was better though to put in the Saga Seeker. Yeah, actually, probably was better to do Saga Seeker and Senate play. I'm pretty sure opponent has a flock, so I'm trying to play around the flock by keeping Pale Cascade for one of these guys. But I just don't know if that's correct. I think at this point we just put all the damage, all the good stuff on Pantheon. And just try to kill him with Spell Shield next turn, because we have the Bastion in our hand. Especially if our Pantheon gets Spell Shield. Okay, well, we got the Spell Shield and we are the elusive. So opponent will not be able to block with attack with Ezreal, sorry. That's pretty good. There's a pretty good roll of keywords. We also even got the lifesteal, by the way. Not to be forgotten. So... Okay. That's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna lie. That is kind of annoying. I need to keep the Pale to still play around a flock. Fortunately, we do have the lifesteal and we have the Spell Shield. Meaning that opponent's gonna have a hard time getting rid of Pantheon. No matter what they do. We also have the Bastion to give the Spell Shield all over again. The Pale Cascades are kind of awkward because of the fact that the opponent can just like do so many things, right? Like, because we have a bunch of flash bombs is what I'm trying to say. So the Pale Cascades are awkward because of the flash bombs. I guess we have Tough, which kind of protects us against them. I need to be careful though not to put Pantheon too low because the spell shield gets countered by the opponent putting 2 spells on the stack. So I need to force him in such a way that the opponent needs to do 1 spell at a time for us able to counter with the Bastion. Otherwise, they just get such an advantage. If we had Yuumi, this game would be so over. Do I care? Gonna level up Ezreal. If he has another Tri-Beam, this will be a problem. We still have lifesteal here though. The fact that we have lifesteal is making me feel like I could play greedy. The fact that we have the lifesteal is making me feel like we can play greedy, because we also have the elusive to block the Ezreal. Attacks with Caitlyn we block with the 4/4. Attacks with Ezreal we block with the Pantheon. I guess the armor toss raider is kind of annoying. This will put him. This will put our Pantheon damage if he attacks with the Ezreal. Opponent only has 3 cards, right? There's only so much that they could have. I think I just do this, no? I just force the opponent to have it. Yeah. So you see what he did here, right? He did it so that he could trigger this right off the bat. I'm just going to go ahead and lifesteal a little bit more, as well as trigger the Faded. This also means that because we did the Pale Cascade, Pantheon is going to come out next turn and be fully healed up, because the Pale Cascade added an additional health. So now if opponent has the Scorched Earth, he needs to use it right now. We do the Bastion. And now the Scorched Earth doesn't do anything. And then next turn, this is going to be fully healed up. And what? I guess we should play around... Yeah, we should play around the stun. Yeah, we should play around the stun and just do this. We also let the when the Wi-Flame die, right? I'm not scared of anything that I'll put in my half here, as long as this Pantheon is not damaged. The Caitlyn spells actually can stack up and actually hurt our Pantheon even through tough. Because if two of them hit me at once, it will be enough. Oh, okay. No. Still fully healthy. I guess this is one way that he can win. Do we go for it? Do we see if we can try to get anything else? Like another... I think we go for it. Yeah, let's just take all this damage now. Let's just get rid of all the time bombs. I guess this is annoying now, right? This is gonna present a lot of damage now. I think we still have to go for it. And force ourselves to do another Pantheon. Or even a Bastion, if anything. Alright. So we lose this. We take 6, 10, 14, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, this is game. We will need to draw the last Pantheon. We need to draw exactly the last Pantheon for us to have a chance. Thermo is really annoying. Because he just opened before we could do the Bright Steel. I wonder if we were supposed to ever do the Bright Steel last turn. He found a way to win. He found a way to win. Remember, we don't have any... Opponent has one more spell here. That's pretty annoying. We don't have any more Overwhelms. Opponent's going to be hitting us for too much damage here if we're not careful. We can do this and block like this. We still go down to 3 health. We literally need Pantheon and nothing else. If it's not Pantheon, it's not gonna win us the game. Because we don't have any more Synth Play since we used the last one on the Pantheon. Yeah, this is not it. Wow, he actually got there. He got there through the double Bastion, so I'll give him credit. Maybe we should actually kill the Caitlyn. Maybe we should actually done the Pale Cascade, the second Pale Cascade on the Wounded Wifling to keep it alive and kill the Caitlyn. But I was so focused on just keeping our Pantheon alive that I didn't consider that. He could have always asked, well, no, because he was always going to try to save the Scorched Earth for the Pantheon, right? The problem is that if we did that... Man, this sucks. Yeah, this is rough. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's no out that we have with just one card, so yeah, GG's. Hey, welcome back here, right? Hope you enjoyed these games. Today was kind of like a bad day for me playing Pantheon. This deck is struggling a little bit, right? So I decided to play it and showcase this because I had some teammates that were saying they were doing really well with the deck. But to me, that was not the case today. I think I ended up going, I think something like 5-5 on the 10 games that we played today. And you saw some of the losses that we had today, which were really tough losses where you either don't draw your Pantheon on time or the opponent just has the answer that they need to be able to deal with your Pantheon. But anyways, it is what it is. The nature of the game. In terms of mulligan, always Saga Seeker, always Wounded Wifling, always Mountain Goat. You want to be able to keep those 3. If you have those 3 in your hand, if you have like, let's say a Mountain Goat in your hand already, maybe you can get greedy and keep the Pantheon. But most of the times you probably want to just be able to kick them out if you need to. But it doesn't hurt. If you have a way to kind of level up Pantheon quickly, it doesn't hurt to keep the Pantheon. Aside from that, Synth Play is also a consideration sometimes. If you really have like a Wounded Wifling in your hand, let's say you have Saga Seeker and Wounded Wifling in your hand already, then I might consider keeping the Synth Blade as a way to buff them up, you know, starting on turn 3 and later. But anyways, that's kind of my thoughts in terms of mulligan. Everything else you can kind of kick and be able to get back later. Remember, if you enjoy the games, to make sure to drop a like below And if you enjoy the content, to subscribe as well. You can also catch us on Twitch at Twitch Sirturmund, where we stream 3 to 4 times a week. And you can also find us on Twitter and Discord. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.